So a cable lifts a 2,600 kilogram elevator to a height of 30 meters in a time of 8 seconds. How much work is done on the elevator, done by the cable on the elevator, and what power does the motor produce in accomplishing this task? Okay, so the power one you guys can do easy enough, but the work one is kind of tricky because work is equal to force times distance. And I know what the distance is. The distance is 30 meters. But I'm not given the force. I'm given distance, which is 30 meters. I'm given time, which is 8 seconds. And I'm given a mass, which is 2,600. So I need to see if I can figure this out. I need to know what the lift force is. So here's my cable attached to an elevator. Elevator has a mass of 2,600 kilograms. Okay? The force is applied up, the lift force, but I don't know what that is. And the distance it's traveling is up, 30 meters. Any thoughts on how I could figure out that lift force or what the lift force is? Jacob?
Gravity.
Why?
Because it's pulling you down. So it's the only force you have. So when you put it with the mass and whatnot.
Not bad, Jacob, not bad. So, the force of gravity is what we're working against. And whenever you want to figure out what force you need to apply, it's always equal to the force you're working against. So if the force you're working against is gravity, then you have to apply the force of gravity. But you're applying a forward up force, not a downward backwards force. So if we were looking for the work gravity does, we would get a negative answer. But we're not going to get a negative answer because we're looking for the work that the lift does, that the cable does. Okay? So the equation we're going to plug in here is mg. And that's because that's equal to the lift force, just like Jake said. The lift force is equal to the force of gravity.
Jake is smart.
Pulling out all the stops today. So, the force would be mass times gravity. So, the mass is 2,600. G is 9.8. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself. You're saying to yourself, but Mr. B, G is down. Down is opposite direction of the upward motion. Yes, but remember, what we're plugging in is the lift force. The lift force is the opposite of gravity. So while gravity would be negative because it's down in opposite direction of motion, the lift force is not. The lift force is positive because it's in the direction of motion. So go ahead and finish up 3. Once you've got 3 finished up, go from there and work on 1 and 2. See if you can finish up, and we'll give you a little time, and then we'll do story time at the end if we got them. But see if you can finish up and get the practice all the way finished.